What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the all-new 2022 BMW 2 Series Coupe. Big shout out and thank you to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this new 2 Series for today's video. Definitely take a look at their website, linked down below, and check them out. And the model that we're looking at today is the 230i, finished off in Thundernight Metallic, and has an MSRP at $39,000. Underneath the hood of the 2022 BMW 230i, you're going to find a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine cranking out 250 horsepower with 294 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission and sends the power to the rear wheels. And with a curb weight around 3,500 pounds, you're looking at 0 to 60 time in 5.5 seconds with a limited top speed around 130 miles per hour. This car runs on a 13.7 gallon fuel tank, and you can expect 26 miles per gallon in the city with 35 out on the highway. The overall length is 179 inches with wheelbase at 107.9. Overall height is 54.8 and width is 72.4 inches. Moving to the exterior styling now with the all-new BMW 230. This is a really sporty looking compact car, and the purple exterior color is really sweet. We have these BMW LED headlights finished off with a black housing. Then you can also see some silver accents and then the white LED down below for the DRL. We get the projector beam in the headlamp, and then moving through this front bumper, there's a lot of really sharp lines. There's black trim on the farthest side with a functional opening to allow air to pass through the bumper out around these front tires. You can also see the 4 parking sensors within the front bumper, and then we get a lower grille with a ton of openings for more cooling. It also features an active grille shutter to allow better cooling or efficiency when needed. And then we move our way up to the classic kidney-shaped grills from BMW. They have chrome trim as well as some gloss black, and they are all a full active shutter. You can see how everything looks. They will rotate open and close, which is a really cool way to make that all look super sporty and modern. And then you can see the sleek lines fading their way towards the hood, with a raised portion right in the center to give some height to the hood, and very sharp lines running towards the windshield on the farthest side. The front end really comes together well to give this new car a fantastic look all around. And then as we move our way to the side profile, we have a set of 19-inch wheels in all 4 corners, finished off in a split 5-spoke, and they're a 2-tone machine silver and then gloss black. You can see a sharp line around this front fender, and then very smooth body lines running through the side profile with a sharp line cutting all the way towards the taillight. You can also see large bulges around the rear and the front fenders to give it that wide appearance from the side. And then I really like the brushed aluminum accents all around the windows and a blacked out B-pillar to blend all of the glass seamless and give it a sporty yet classy appearance. We also get a new set of flush mounted body color door handles that have a very nice integrated look. And then you can see the body colored mirror caps with gloss black down below, and they also feature an integrated LED turn signal. As we move our way to the entire side profile, I love how a 2 Series Coupe is going to look. They're very short and stubby and extremely proportional front and back. Very nice proportions all around, and this new design I think really stands out to give it that newer appearance. I love the rear fender arches especially. And then as we make our way to the rear end, we get these all new taillights. They have a very 3-dimensional look, and they even cut out quite a lot to give it that wider rear end look. And then we get the 230i logo over on the right side with the BMW badge right in the center. And then I love how the edge of the trunk lid is sculpted upwards to give it a ducktail spoiler. We have a lot of sharp lines in the lower portion of the bumper, and they really sculpted the rear bumper to add some aggression. You can see all of your parking sensors in it, as well as a huge area with satin black for the diffuser, and then we get your dual chrome exhaust tips. So there's a full look at the all-new 2022 BMW 230. This purple color is really cool. I think it really fits the design of the car really nicely, and I love these silver accents around the windows. I think it gives it that sporty touch. So we now have BMW's key fob. Lock button is your BMW logo. We have the unlock button on the top. Then all I have to do is grab this new door handle, and we can check out this really nice interior. This particular Spec has the Canberra beige perforated Sensitech interior. Very nice lighter color with a lot of black accents and then the silver trim. You can see the soft touch material on the back finished in black with a really cool contour design to it. Then you can see the 2-tone color. We get a little padding on the armrest, your grab handle up top. We have an aluminum color for your release handle, lock and unlock and memory seating, then all the window and mirror controls. There's a little bit of storage down below with the trunk release button. Then you can see BMW along the door sill, and then all of your power controls are on the left side of the seat. You can see all of the color with the stitching, and then I really like the perforation right in the center. You can also grab the lever up front, and we have a nice little leg rest that'll pop out. Then you even get pretty good sized bolsters for not being even the M240. You can see the backs have more of the perforations going all the way up the top. I really like the design with all that and the combination with the smooth leather. We have contrast stitching around the headrest, and then spinning around to a black leather steering wheel. And then now inside the new 230, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. This car gets an LCD gauge cluster with a tach over on the right with engine temperature, and then your speedometer and fuel to the left. There's a screen up top, and you can control that tapping the BC icon on this left stalk. So if I go through this menu, you can see a few things come up, like your trip information and odometer. We also have some MPG, and then a few more things will come up through these different screens, like your digital speedometer. You can see your compass, and then the music that's playing. You can also see how with your drive mode selector over in the center here, we have your Eco Pro, Comfort, and Sport mode. And when you toggle these buttons, it'll come up on the center screen with what mode you're in. Then you get a little bit of blue accents in the lower side going into Comfort. And then Sport mode, you get a red line there. And of course, the exhaust changes up a little bit. Taking a look at the steering wheel, we have your BMW logo in the center with the heater button down below. Then we have Bluetooth and audio controls over on the right side, and then cruise control over on the left. And we do have a set of steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. Turn signal stock is over on the left side. Then we get the windshield wipers to the right. On the left of the actual steering wheel, we have all of your headlight controls as well as the interior dimming, and then a little bit of storage right there. You can see one of your air vents, then black trim running across the entire dashboard. Then we get a nice silver trim piece running through this center, wrapping around your air vents. Moving to the center infotainment screen, you can see how this main screen, we have your navigation, a few more things like weather as well as audio. You can scroll through this to see more information within the car. And then on the left side, we can scroll through all the different settings. We have all of your audio control. You can go back to home and see your Bluetooth for your cell phone. Then we have the navigation screen for full screen. Pretty nice screen. It's not the biggest, it's not full screen like other Beamers, but you still get the full touchscreen display and really good resolution and everything like that. We have your apps icon as well, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, then a few things right here. And if I go ahead and take the shifter, put us into reverse, your backup camera comes up over on the left side with all of your sensors. You can see a pretty good depiction of everything. Then if I just press the P button, we can go back into park. Underneath the screen, we have our safety sensor button. If you tap this, it comes up with all of your intelligent safety. You can adjust your forward collision, lane departure, steering, and blind spot. So I really like how easy that is to change up. Down below that, we have your two air vents and then an LCD screen right in the center for all of your climate. We have your dual zone climate control that you can sync, fan speed, different zones, recirc. We have a menu button over here to adjust a few things within the climate. Then we have heated seats on the left and the right side with the defrost. Down below that, we have your volume on off. Then you can press this down and open it up. We have an area to place a cell phone, USB and 12 volt, as well as your two cup holders. Then we can close this down, and then we get more silver trim all throughout this center console. We have a rotary dial on the right side that you can use to control the screen as well as the touchscreen. We have your home icon. You can rotate this and bump it over. So if you take a look at the screen now, I can hit one of the icons, bump it over, and pretty much go through the entire screen by just using my hand. We also have your shifter right in the center with your manual mode. Then we have traction control, parking sensors, and the auto start stop feature. And then your electronic parking brake down below. We have more of this two-tone design for your armrest and a pretty good amount of storage space in here with an LED light as well as a USB. Then we can open up the glove box. You have a pretty good amount of space in here as you would expect. The new Tier Series definitely does have a pretty sporty looking interior. Not too much different from the previous generation 2 Series, but you do get the sporty looking door panels, nice seats, and a pretty comfortable interior. Up top, we have our LED dome lights and then all the controls. The 2 Series Coupe is a 4-seater car. There's a handle on the back side of the front seat. You can pull, and then the seat is going to automatically slide out of your way. You can see a pretty good entry point to get into the back. Then we have all the same seating material back here. You can see the perforated leather as well as all the smooth leather. And there's a little bit of storage in the center. We even do get climate control vents in the center with all the controls and USBs. All right, so sitting now in the back of the 2 Series Coupe. So I'm 5'11". My head is just barely touching the ceiling. We do get a little armrest over on this left side. And then I have the driver's seat set at my height, so it's gonna automatically slide back to where it was. Hopefully it doesn't crush my knees. But sitting back here, the seats are actually pretty comfortable, and surprisingly, I do get some leg room. So it's actually a pretty usable 2-doored car. You know, if you have to put people back here, full-grown adults even, in a pinch, this wouldn't be the worst. If I slouched a little bit, I put my head against the headrest. These do fold up and down depending on if you need that extra visibility. And then in the center, since there's no seat right here, we can pull this strap down and we get a nice armrest as well as 2 different cup holders. And then if we close this one up, there's another handle that you can grab and you can pull the entire center down and actually gain access into the trunk. So pretty usable back seats for sure for being a 2-door car. And then up top, we have your LED dome lights with those controls. And then to take a look at the rear trunk space, there is a button underneath the BMW logo. You have the one on the interior, and then you can just hold down the button on your key fob. It'll pop the trunk, then you can lift it open. We have a pretty good amount of space in here. It's nice and squared off. You could fit some pretty large luggage bags in here. And then we even get a cargo area on the left and the right with a small net, which is a pretty nice touch to see. And then up top, we have these manual controls. You can pull these and it'll unlock these rear seats. And with them folded down, you get a really large entry point into the cabin space, making this a pretty roomy car. If we take a look through the doors with those both folded up, they fold down nearly flat, and you really do get a ton of storage space on the inside of the 230. All right guys, so we are now setting off with the all-new 230i from BMW. So getting my bearings with it, we're leaving it in Eco Pro mode just to kind of feel it out just in normal driving. These seats are really comfortable. I like the padding in them. The leg rest down below, of course, is pretty nice. And it's got pretty decent bolsters. You know, it's more of an entry-level BMW, but it's pretty comfortable in here nonetheless. You have your normal cruise control, things like that. As far as the view out, we have a really large windshield, and the hood is pretty flat. That raised up portion, basically that's the part you see. So it's just a flat piece of purple in front of me, which is a pretty cool touch. You can see the purple on the mirrors as well. They do a really good job letting me know what's going on behind me. And over your right and left shoulder, there's really not any blind spots. Those rear windows are pretty large, so you can really see around. This would be a pretty good daily, more of an affordable entry-level daily from BMW. So I think it's a pretty good way to go for just kind of getting into the brand with something on the lower end of the price. As far as the fit and finish, there's nothing too fancy in this car. The synthetic leather does feel nice. It's pretty durable. I like the leather on the steering wheel, and it's pretty normal in here. Again, you know, not too crazy expensive. Ride quality, the suspension is really comfortable, and you don't really hear anything. It's got pretty good insulation to where it does feel like a solid BMW. They do a great job not making any cheap cars. They all feel, even their entry-level cars, pretty solid like a BMW should. So normal driving in this, very comfortable. Eco mode is very, very conservative. There's really not any throttle response. It's a little sluggish in my opinion in this driving mode. But then if we go into the comfort mode, throttle response is going to sharpen up just a little bit. So then in this mode, you get that added response to the car. And then if I go into the manual mode, you can pull a shifter once to put it into actual manual mode. Then we have our sport mode now. So we get the 4-cylinder. Of course, if you want a little bit more power, you can get the 6-cylinder in the 240i. So then with all the fun in second gear, wow. There's some good low-end torque. It's not really fast, obviously, but that was up to 60 miles an hour. The torque hits you, and then it really levels off pretty quickly. But nonetheless, you know, you're not buying this to be the full-on sports car. But throttle response is way sharper now, and I like how when you give it a little bit of gas, you feel that torque, that turbo power. Steering doesn't really seem to change. It's nice and light, but still decently responsive. Pretty decent power for being what it is. The handling is all right. You know, if you really want the handling, of course the M240, but as far as the performance stuff in this car, it does leave you wanting a lot out of it. So you're not buying this car because you want a performance car. You're really buying this just to be like a city car, daily driver, rack up miles, and you know, with 2 people in it, maybe throw people in the back every now and then. It's decent in the turns. It's not that responsive, and there is quite a lot of body roll. So it's no sports car, to be quite honest. It's definitely not a sports car, but I really do like how the fact that it's got that price point and it's got the looks and it's just got like a normal, comfortable vibe to it, make it a pretty sporty, normal car to drive. And then flipping around to the point of view so you guys can immerse yourself in what it's like driving in this new 2 Series. Like I said, pretty normal, nothing really too special or fancy with it, but it does give you a good BMW vibe. And then the visibility, like I mentioned, definitely really good all around. If we go back into the sport mode and get us into manual, we'll even hit traction control once, just go into the more performance focused traction control mode. I like how we have the gear indicator. Pretty healthy for being a 4-cylinder. You know, it's got that little fun sport to it. You know, like I said, not a sports car, but it's sporty for sure. And then with this car, just normal basic brakes. Let's go ahead and hit them. They do a really good job. The car really does feel solid. Everything in it, it does feel solid. Even the performance aspects, it's just a solid little sporty car. Only drawback, higher speed stuff. It's not that direct in the steering. It leaves you wanting a lot, very vague, I would say. But like I said, you know, this is not a sports car. This is something you're gonna buy for just a fun looking, little sporty, cool car. That's kind of my opinion of the car. I think it's a pretty cool way to go for sure if you're just looking for a nice little car. So I think that is then it for the 2022 BMW 230i. Huge shout out and thank you once again to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this car for today's video. Definitely take a look at their website, linked down below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for plenty more content to come.